Life is the greatest video game of them all, and your mind is the controller. I would much rather be delusional and happy than realistic and depressed. One of my most commonly used battle cries, and the very foundation on which I have built my post-amputation life. After assessing my new reality and new face, I quickly realized that it would definitely benefit my overall mental health and happiness to adjust my self-perception and not focus on the glaringly obvious permanent setbacks that my cancer had left me with. I remember staring straight into the abyss that was my new physical shape, and I realized that even the thought of attempting to try and find any logic behind what had happened to me would only result in a vicious circle of pain, depression, and anger. It is what it is. No other conclusion could ever turn back time. No self-exploration would make it any less unfair. So I said, fuck it, and decided to skip that entire process and fast forward to the fun part. The part of the movie where the superhero is wearing the really cool suit. I have to admit, I made the conscious choice to delude myself into embracing my new reality. I went all in on applying the magic of what we call fantasy to everyday life situations. That way, allowing the creativity of my mind to run free and turn shitty experiences into better ones. When I was undergoing chemotherapy for my second cancer, I was forced to live in quarantine in the same hospital room for weeks on end. Lying in a hospital bed all day, watching time pass me by ever so slowly, made it really hard for me to keep a positive perspective. It felt as if I was in jail, unable to get up and leave, stuck in the same room forever. I quickly began to understand that I had to change the way I experienced my reality. If I took it for what it really was, it would be living hell until the very end. So I started transforming every little bit of boring action into something exciting. My 3 meals of the day became the absolute highlights of my day. Every time I would get ready to eat, I would close my eyes and envision myself a castaway on a deserted island. I focused so hard on this idea that I could actually smell the salty ocean water and see the giant palm trees freely hanging over the beach. When I was still a child, I saw a movie with Tom Hanks called Castaway. I used that movie as an inspiration for what it must be like to have been washed up on some deserted island, starving and scavenging the jungle for anything to eat. I would dive so deep into this mental projection of me having to fight for survival that I would actually start believing it. In my little fantasy world, every hospital meal that the nurses would bring over would be instantly transformed into a washed up food package. The last remains from the Navy SEAL mission behind enemy lines gone wrong after their chopper had been shot out the air by indigenous rebels who had gotten their hands on some old-school Russian missile launchers. By employing this mental technique repeatedly, every bit of food given to me was instantly transformed into the most enjoyable culinary experience that I had ever had. A simple strawberry yogurt turned into the sweetest delight on my castaway's tongue. A dry piece of bread became a much sought-after extension of my life, providing me with the oh-so-necessary carbohydrates that would refill my energy levels and allow me to live to see another day on my island. It wasn't just with food that I exercised this mental technique though. I did it with people too. I started treating the interactions with my doctors and nurses to practice my ability to be humorous, charming, and sometimes even flirty. Not sexually or ordinarily, but more so in trying out running jokes and creating a friendly vibe that allowed me to peek behind their professional curtain. By doing so, I became more in touch with the daily ups and downs of the people taking care of me. I successfully added Yet another layer of moderate excitement and interest to my otherwise boring everyday reality. The dynamic of any relationship becomes a lot more enjoyable and exciting when both parties can vent and share. Instead of simply going through the dull motions of answering your nurse's daily questions on how you're feeling today, I used my mind as some type of almighty and powerful reality-creating machine. It successfully numbed my physical and mental pain, and it helped me construct a safe place where I was comfortable and at times even happy. Now guys, I'm hoping by now that you're starting to understand I'm not just trying to make a cool analogy here when I say that life is a video game. We really are little tiny supernarios jumping on top of mushrooms in hopes of growing strong enough to make it to the next level. You can even take that part about the mushrooms quite literally. There is only one essential difference between Super Mario and us. We are not bound by the limitations of our Nintendo console. We actually have the power to actually reprogram the very game that we're participating in any way that we feel like. Societal definitions of what it means to be successful or respectable have lured you away from your ability to recognize the power that you hold. You, and only you, are the creator of your world and everything in it. The fact of the matter is, you always have been, but you have been quietly put to bed. You are a dormant force of endless possibilities, like the most bright and valuable diamond just sitting in a solid metal case somewhere on the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Are you seeing it? That diamond is your essence, the absolute purest form of what you were far before you became corrupted by culture, media, and entertainment. Look guys, our body is nothing more than a space shuttle for our soul, a meat vehicle. It is our permanent transportation device constructed from meat and bones that obeys our wishes and goes where the twinkle in our eyes tells it to go. The same way that you can pimp your ride and modify your vehicle in every way you would like, you also get to decide on many different superficial characteristics concerning your physical outlook. The same way that you get to pick a skin tone, a hair color, and many other features for your player 1 character at the beginning of the new video game, you have an abundance of features that you get to play around with in your actual real life. But Lorenz, what are you talking about? There's no way that I can change the way I physically look without getting plastic surgery. Alright, look, I hear you. Though you will always be limited to operate in a particular realm of physical possibilities, you still have a million different ways that you can choose to represent yourself on the exterior level. I looked at the options within my reach. I concluded that my physical features lend themselves very well to having me go through life as a Viking. So that's exactly what I chose to roll with within this video game that we call life. If I'm gonna have to be different, I'm gonna be different on my terms. There is no point in trying to fit in when you are a standout. It will be a lot more fun and exciting to go all the way so you can truly explore the possibilities and potential of the avatar that you have chosen. For example, your fashion choices should be based on the feelings that you get when wearing certain clothes. You should wear whatever the fuck makes you feel cool, not society's cool. We've already got plenty of those. I want you to wear what you think is cool. If that means going out dressed like an Egyptian pharaoh or a medieval lich, then so be it. This is the 21st century, guys. It's okay to step outside the box. People don't care anymore. Now, if you do in fact find yourself surrounded by people who care way too much and can't help but tell you, then simply uproot yourself and move somewhere else, either to a big city where you can do whatever you feel like without having to be judged by your narrow-minded village community, or to a place in nature without any people around at all. Choice is yours, whichever option floats your boat. Why would you willingly choose to stick around in a place that makes you unhappy? Think about it. That's like buying a new video game and playing the same level over and over again. There is a place of peace and happiness out there for everyone. It is, however, up to you to take that first step and set the wheels in motion. You, and only you, can be the one that pushes the first domino. Remember, guys, push that first domino and everything can and will change. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, even if you got nothing to say. It helps my channel out greatly. As you all know, these videos are based on my upcoming book, Rotten Lemons. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. What do you do when you got rotten lemons, right? So if you are interested in buying my book, go check out the description box below. And hopefully by now it'll be out yet that you can purchase it. I'll be back with more philosophy content soon. It's your boy Wounded Viking. Check it out.
Hi, my name's Spencer. I'm a filmmaker from Chicago. I'm a person who struggled with anxiety, OCD, and mild depression for most of my life. I've seen many therapists and tried many different medications to varying success. Recently, while I've been doing better, I was kind of looking for something more, to get more motivated, to get more things done. And I had just come across Lorenzo's YouTube channel. I just started binge watching and I became so inspired about his attitude, the way he goes about things. And he just seems so genuine, so intelligent. And I just decided to reach out because I thought, if he could make it through everything that he had made it through and be succeeding so well now, that he must know something. And I can safely say he does. He's so much different than any other therapist I had seen before. I felt like more of a connection. I felt that everything that he was talking about with me was from experience that he had and not just something that he learned in a book. And I think that's the biggest difference that I could honestly say. So he's helped me so much with motivation, organizing my life, more confidence. And the biggest thing is to live in the moment. And I really appreciate what I have and who I'm with and what I'm doing when I'm doing it. And that was something I've never done before. So once again, I would like to highly recommend Lorenz, aka Wounded Viking. Please hit him up for life coaching and go Bulls.